Welcome to this week's video. This week's really exciting. You read the title. We're putting a locker into this Subaru Loyale here. This thing is usually front wheel drive until you push a little button on the gear shift. Then it engages the center diff, which engages the rear wheels. However, both the front differential and the rear differential are open. Today, we're gonna fix that by making the rear differential a locker. I need to go film some footage of this thing getting stuck in places that it will not get stuck after we're done. Let's go take care of that. Let's get out of this little predicament really quick because I'm not actually stuck here, but in the future we will be able to stop there and then just climb right up it. But today we're gonna need a little bit of speed. Really quick first though, I need to clean up in here. I haven't actually cleaned up since we pulled the engine out of this thing completely. So let's get it really nice and clean in here so we have a nice place to work. All right, we got it backed in here since there's more space in this end of my shop. I'm working on the back. There's nothing else to do, I guess, but get started. So I'm just gonna pull out the entire rear differential and then do the actual part swap on the bench and then throw it all back in. So I'm not sure how well you can see, but we've got 4 bolts right here that hold it on. We've got 2 up here that hold it on. And then I think we just need to pull the axles out the same as the front, which I did before I was doing this YouTube thing. And those are just 2 pins that I need to hammer through. And actually when I did the front ones, I've custom made a tool to do that just by grinding down a screwdriver to the right diameter. I think I'm gonna start with trying to get the drive shafts out because I know that getting this stupid pin out can be a pain. So this here's the tool I made. This used to be where the handle was, but that came off after a lot of hammering on it. And then this end has been ground down to be the right diameter. So yeah, this is known as a spring pin and it has a little spring here so it expands when you push it in. And this just sits in here and holds the drive shaft to the differential here. Well, if you think that was fun, then you're weird, but also it's even more fun to get them put back in because you gotta get them lined up right so you can hammer on them. All right, it sounds like taking these things off of the stubs here is something we should worry about later because as this thing drops, these will get longer and they'll just wanna fall out. I did forget to mention 4 of the fasteners. We got 4 bolts on the drive shaft from the front of the car here. Let's take care of those. I didn't think about that. Let me go put the car in gear. Oh, I also need to put it in 4-wheel drive. All right, gotta go put it in neutral, spin it around, and then... Oh wait, because the front. I'm gonna take it out of 4-wheel drive is what I'm gonna have to do. There we go. You know, I'm not sure if it matters, but just in case it does matter for balance, I am going to mark this with an acrylic pen just before I take it apart so I can get it back in the same orientation. It has a little lip so I can't get it to split loose, but once I drop this thing, no, there's no problem. It'll come right off. There goes the drive shaft. Well, that's something. Oh yeah, we're detached. Oh wait, we are really detached. Okay. Oh boy, now we just need to try and get these half shafts out. Oh, hey, look at that. That is one down. And the other one, and we got this thing out, holy crap. You know, it's not light, but considering it's a rear differential, it's not too bad. I don't know if I have whatever size that is. So yeah, I don't have a box wrench set, so I'm gonna go to the store and get some of those, and I will be back shortly. Well, on today's episode of Joel's an Idiot, this is just a 1/2 inch, so I can just stick my ratchet straight in there. That's some good looking stuff, eh? Oh boy, here we go. I think we might call that good for drainage. Now we are beginning to follow the instructions. So the instructions that come with the actual locker itself, they're actually for the next model up of Subaru. They remove these little stub things here, and instead the drive shafts have the stubs on them. So in addition to this manual that we have, we're gonna also be following along with the YouTube supplement. Looks like we're loose. And there's our differential in there, eh? Looks like our next step is to get these sides off, but I'm gonna give myself a refresher on the video specific to this car first.
The main difference being these stub axles need to come out. You'll need an E10 1/4-inch long neck socket to be able to get those out.
Well, there actually is a tool that I'm definitely gonna need. I just saw him use it, and this is just needed on the older Subarus because there is a bolt way down inside of here that you need to get out. All right, I found them. We're gonna run to Harbor Freight real quick and grab the set. Well, if you're very astute, you'll notice that I'm empty-handed. That's because Harbor Freight is not open on a Sunday at 6:30 in the evening. So that means we aren't gonna be able to really make any more progress on this until tomorrow when I can go get those parts. If only I'd watched that video before and seen that I needed that tool and could have bought it earlier. Oh wait, I did watch it before and I didn't do that? Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow as there's nothing else I can do. That's the next thing that needs to be done. We got what we need. I'll be back out in a minute. I gotta go make dinner because it's my turn, but we were gonna be able to hopefully finish this now. Yep, that's the part we needed, just this little guy. It's got a Torx on there. I believe it's called external Torx. Well, I would say this is all the don'ts about using an impact. I'm using an adapter to a smaller size. I'm using another adapter to a smaller size, and none of it is impact rated. Oh, there we are. Oh. And then this thing comes out just like that. On newer Subarus, I think the drive shafts have this part on them or something like that, so you don't need this little extra part. I was just thinking, I don't know if it matters, but let me just mark these left and right. So now this piece should just come out. I didn't expect that to work so well. It's almost like the people who wrote this manual kind of know what they're doing. They say you need a punch for this, but I have this screwdriver laying around that's just the right size. We need to get this little pin out that holds this, I don't remember what this is called, the center pin. So this center pin goes through the thing and that kind of holds everything together, and it's held in by a pin. There we go, our little pin. And there is our center pin. I actually have a replacement one of these because they say that if your car has more than like 100,000 miles, you should probably just replace it. So we're gonna be replacing this because this car has like 230,000 miles. Now, these gears have nothing to hold them in, so we can just take them out. So it sounds like we don't need these things. We're gonna be replacing these. Whoa. And this thing comes out. I think we do need these parts. So we don't need this whole gear thing, we just need this piece on the end here, this end piece. Well, it's time. We gotta open up our new box of parts here. So these things are inside of here to retain the axles on a normal Subaru, but our Subaru has these little stub axles that we removed earlier. These are gonna go into here like this, and so those clips would have gotten in the way. So we just need to take them out, which is proving to not be incredibly easy. Did you see where that went? Because I didn't. But what's important is that it's out. This is according to this video where it gets kind of tricky for this car. We, of course, need to press these little things that we hammered out into here. But due to clearances, we can only do one of them on the bench. We have to install the assembly into the axle to do the other one because it won't clear. So that should be fun. But again, I'm so glad I have this video to guide me. Okay, so the locker is now in there. However, we need to get that piece I was talking about earlier in there. It's just down in there. Probably can't see it. I'm holding it up with my fingers because it's still loose. I can kind of get my fingers in through the side to hold it. And then I believe we're just gonna put this into here and then use one of these to pull that in. All right, well, I guess there's nothing else but to do it. I really don't want to mess this up because then I'd have to get a new part from somewhere and I don't know where I'd get that from. That didn't do anything. We aren't even in at all. Oh, I think we might not have had it even started. Let's try this again. I think we might not have had the teeth lined up, so it was just kind of sitting there. Man, I just can't tell. I'm gonna go to a few more ugga-duggas and see what happens. It's still not pressed in. I think that's actually pressed in pretty good now. I can't just push it out with my finger, so it's in there better than, you know, nothing. And then of course when we tighten the axle shafts later, we'll make sure to get it even tighter. Looks like I even got the right part here. Sweet, now we need our little safety pin here. So now we need to install those springs that I had on either side here. So full disclosure, my center gap here is not within the spacing. It's supposed to be between 0.145 and 0.175 inches. Mine is 0.144. I'm gonna call it close enough and hope for the best. So neither the manual nor this video says what the torque specs on these are, so I'm gonna have to go find that somewhere. Looks like we're looking at 42 to 49 foot-pounds. And that's actually not even for a Loyale, that's for a Legacy, I think, or something, the newer one. All the service manuals I could find for the Loyale were missing the 3 of the chapters, so including the differential. Now the question becomes, how the heck do I get this thing to stay still? Alright, I've got this figured out. I'm gonna just... Yeah, I've got these torqued down all to spec. I think it's time to throw this thing back into the differential casing. Who the heck uses a paper gasket, dude? Dude, I cannot get this paper gasket off. Who thought this was a good idea? Dude, this is what I hate about working on cars. This has gone great. This crap, this crap, this crap. Come on. Well, it's not too bad when you have the right tool for the job, I guess. But I hope I didn't scrape it up too much, because that can obviously damage its ability to keep the oil in. So I've got myself some ultra black gasket maker. I've never actually made a gasket before. I'm gonna try and do my best here. Well, that's what I did there. I don't know how, well, actually I think it's pretty bad, but that's what we're gonna get. I'm sure there was a lot extra on there. I'm assuming that's fine, generally. I don't think it should cause any problems with the gears. Let's hope not, at least. Oh, interesting. You're just supposed to finger tighten it until stuff starts to ooze out, and then you come back and tighten it later. I was just gonna ugga-dugga it down, but that's not what you're supposed to do. Good thing I read the instructions, imagine that. Well, let's hope I did that right. I did have to use this to get it tight enough for it to be oozing out all the way around. Well, I guess there's not really anything else for me to do, unfortunately. I kind of just want to get this over with, but I'll be back out here with you in about an hour, it looks like, so. All right, well, it's been a slow and painful hour. Now we're gonna tighten these down and I guess throw this thing back in the car, eh? Oh, and I think that is torqued to spec. Whoa, shoot! Well, I'm kind of concerned right now because the wheels are not turning. I thought it was fine when I put it together. I checked it and everything was turning. I don't get it. Nothing's turning now. Well, we better pop this back off and... Whoa, got it. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm glad I found this issue before I got it completely in the car. I guess we're going to pop the cover back off and see if we can figure it out. Yeah, it's like the... ring gear isn't engaging with the gear here because this is completely locked. I swear I tested that, but something must have changed. Oh god, look at all that gasket material. Wait, what? Now it's working again. So something about putting the cover on messed it up? Can the cover be put on upside down? Oh my god, can the cover be put on upside down? Did I do that? So I had it on like this, I think. No, I had it on like this. Dude, when you have the cover on upside down, this part here, oh my god, and actually you can see, or maybe you can't, but I can, the gear actually cut into the cover a little bit there. I just had the cover on upside down. I don't think I would have been able to get it back in the car anyways. That's crazy. Well, we need to get this cover back on the right way this time. Sometimes, man, you gotta wonder. All right, and this time we're gonna install it the correct way, I think. That would also be why I had to use the wrench to install it. I couldn't just finger tighten it. I guess I just gave the Subaru engineers too much credit. I just kind of figured you wouldn't be able to put it on backwards, you know? It does say specifically to tighten the torque specs after an hour, so I will be out here after an hour to tighten the torque specs. Fun times, fun times. All right, well, it's been a little more than an hour, and I'm up way past my bedtime now, but we're gonna cinch this thing down, and then maybe I'll put it in the car. It does look like the gasket's actually quite a bit solid. Not completely, but you know, more so than it was last time. Probably because I gave it a lot longer. Let's get the excess gasket material off of here. All right, once again, let's transition back under the car. I really would have liked to have this done by tonight, but due to the gasket, we are gonna have to wait till tomorrow to fill it up with fluid and then get it back on the road. What should have been a 1-day job has turned into a 3-day job. Don't love that. I've got the one side not lined up with the hole. That one definitely is, and this one just... Okay, now it's definitely lined up. Oh, we are in, dude. Now we have the struggle of getting these stupid pins in here. It seems that this one is not as lined up as I had first thought. Don't hook my hole in it, I'm a tooth off. Well, we've learned a lesson. Line up your hole before you put a pin in it. Oh, there we go. Got it out. And now I gotta figure out if this hole is a tooth off or not. It ain't good news. We're a tooth off. Now I wonder if I should put the pin in this one over here since it's lined up so it doesn't accidentally get pulled out. I might have to disconnect the drive shaft. Yeah, shoot. Oh, that sounds so bad. There we go, we're back out. Welcome to Joel's shop, making jobs a bunch more harder than they should have been. Oh, I'm under it. Oh boy, okay. Man, maybe this is okay. I can manipulate it like this, right? It's gotta be lined up, right, dude? I can see all the freaking way through it. Okay. Whew. Why didn't I just do it that way the first time? All right, before we get all the bolts in, I'm really having flashbacks. I swear I could see the nice, perfect hole through there. How am I still off a tooth on today's episode of Joel is Incompetent? All right, we gotta get that pin out of there and drop it back down again. I don't know how many more differential presses I have in me. That was an option I didn't know existed. Now how the f am I gonna get that out of here? I tried that and it didn't work. Of course, this time it worked perfectly. Oh boy, almost hit myself in the face there. Oh, so feather light. It's like getting a hug, a big ol' hug from the Subaru. There. Okay, we're gonna be very careful. Now let me double check. While there's a freaking differential laying on my chest. Dude, it still isn't lined up. Does it have does it have an orientation? Let's try flipping it 180 degrees. Okay. I got her off. Line up the holes. It just had an orientation. Dude, that's good. Okay. In. And. In. Whew. Nut. I never wanted a nut so bad. So a couple of things that I've learned. It can only go on one way because there is an odd number of teeth on here. So if you put it on the wrong way, as I had it, you won't be able to install the roll pin. Number two, people said that you really don't need a roll pin. I mean, as you noticed, I can't really get the CV off of here unless I drop the transmission. So I think that we are just gonna install this broken piece into one side here, and it won't be quite as good as having the whole thing, but it'll be just about as good. So we're gonna do that and then call it a night. I guess I could install the other half of it in there. I don't know really if that would give us any benefit though. I guess I might as well. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. Well, I think that'll do just fine, just fine. Now I need to do up all the bolts, get the drive shaft reconnected again. Well, that took a lot longer than it should have. Tomorrow I will see you out here so we can pop this thing off and get some oil in this thing and then test it out. Welcome back. We got our gear oil. Our differential is in the car as I did so late last night. The car is supposed to be level for this. I think there might just be enough clearance under it for me to do it with it on the ground. So let's drop it down and get some gear oil in it and see how this thing works. So this is the drain port we used earlier, and this is the fill port, and all you do is you just fill it up until it starts overflowing. Oh my gosh, this thing has a straw? That's genius, man. I'm really glad I didn't get some sort of pump apparatus. Maybe I should remove my impact from directly in the drip zone. Oh, and she's dripping. I think it's time to take this thing for a spin. Let's go. How's this for a shot? All right, first test, and it's been raining, so it's gonna be extra slippery. Dude, that was crazy. Did you notice how like the rear slid? That means both the wheels are locked together. They were both spinning, so it slid down. That was crazy. Let's do it again. The final thing I want to test is whether it clicks when you're going around corners when you're not in four-wheel drive. Because by my estimation, the differential back there is still spinning and it still needs to have both sides at different speeds. And so on pavement, it still should click, do that ratcheting thing that allows the two wheels to spin at different speeds. Let's go over to a parking lot and see if we can hear it clicking. Let me set up the camera in the back there and maybe you can hear it. It is not near as bad as I thought it'd be based on the descriptions, but I guess they, want to play it safe. I'm gonna do this one more time. And then I'm gonna try something else up there. Dude, there's just no problem. Oh, that's front wheel drive, duh. Dude, four-wheel drive, no problem, man. This is so cool. Dude, if you've got an old Subaru, this was really generally pretty easy to do. You've got to do this mod. Gosh, I can't believe how stoked this is. This is like a zero compromises, easy $500 upgrade to your old Subaru, or even your new Subaru from what I understand. If you like the video, if you like seeing my stoke for this, if you like seeing the job, then leave a like. If you want any advice down below, I'm always in the comments, so leave a comment down below. And if you want to see us make use of this differential or work on the Subaru in the future, then hit the subscribe button, because this thing is not going anywhere anytime soon. Thanks so much for watching. I am so stoked on this. I'll see you next week.